smiling. Never heard him complain. He said I've proven God again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. The landlord wears the rent, school fee too, partner drop bonds, and the youth them need you. Friends all ask me what I'm gonna do. I smile and tell them that God will see me through. So no matter what the circumstances may be, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. I met this old man, he was so poor. He didn't hold a bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, I never heard him complain. He said I've proven God again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, no, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me.
Yes, good afternoon to all my listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rebel Radio. Today, Monday, our first working day. Yes, and we are in the period now, the election period. The campaign trail is very hot. Yes, one of the things we saw, you will recall, Member of Parliament Harold Warmington was scolded for using bad words. Yes, expletives on the campaign trail during a speech. And he apologized. Well, last week, the opposition leader, he also was heard using expletives, yes, on the campaign trail. He also apologized. Yes. But you know, one of the things that we must be looking at now is should we be, and I saw the Gleaner with this story. Should we be looking at amending this obscene language law? Because one of the things that I think most Jamaicans will know, that what we call bad words is that it's a ordinary language that is used by most Jamaicans on a daily basis, you know. Yes, when you talk and you listen to Jamaicans, every day of my life, I hear these so-called bad words being used during conversations. Yes. And I recall a pregnant woman out in St. Thomas. She was killed by police after she was accosted for using indecent language. Well, as it later turned out that the shooting was accidental. But what I do recall that the first why the police accosted her was because she was overheard using indecent language. I think the time has come for us to take a look at these laws. Yes. Well, another thing on our agenda, and it ought to be on all the people in the Caribbean's agenda, is the genocide in Gaza. Yes. And you will recall that the last week was the Commonwealth Conference in Montego Bay. Yes. And you'll remember that several groups congregated at the conference, yes? And a letter was sent to the CARICOM heads. Well, they responded, and based on their response, they have not indicated that they have any plans to sever diplomatic relations with Israel, neither trade relations. No, I saw one letter from them there, that the one statement from them that they call for the immediate and sustained ceasefire in Gaza. But we don't hear from them any plans to take some concrete actions. You know, the several groups are asking Caribbean leaders to sever diplomatic relations with Israel as a sign of protest against the killings that is taking place. All right, we are going to have a discussion on this now with our well-known public commentator and journalist, Lloyd Aguilar. Lloyd, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Desmond. Thanks for having me on your program.
Yes, sir. And so what do you make of the response from the Commonwealth, the CARICOM leaders?
Well, I think you summarized it quite well. A letter was sent by a combination of organizations, Caribbean organizations, and Jamaica as well, to the Prime Minister, who became the head of CARICOM, became the chairman of CARICOM, and so he was written to very directly asking him to put the matter of what's happening in Gaza on the agenda, and that we are calling for ending of diplomatic relations with Israel, and talk about the genocide and what else needs to be done. Well, the meeting happened. We had our protest in front of the Montego Bay Convention Center, and there was no mention publicly of the letter that they received. However, several days afterwards, there was a letter from CARICOM, which was their response to, I guess, to the letter that we wrote. And they discussed, this letter was dated July 8th, which was the last day of the meeting, and it was released on July 11th. By this time, everybody had gone home. But it's interesting that the term Israel was used twice in an indirect way. It wasn't a letter or a release condemning Israel directly and say, Israel, you're committing genocide. What you're doing is illegal, and so on. There was no direct accusation against Israel in terms of what it is that they're doing. Okay, so some other little things that they said, which is important. They were distressed over unprecedented human catastrophe, that CARICOM was calling for a ceasefire against the indiscriminate bombardment, and that this was a violation of international humanitarian law. This is all correct. There's no problem with that. But how can you be saying all of these things and you're not, talking about Israel in a very direct way? Because it's Israel that is carrying out this indiscriminate bombardment and violating international human law. As I said before, Israel was rarely mentioned, even though what they were saying was important, and we support it. So I think they were hedging in terms of seriously condemning the genocide that is being carried out by Israel. No, they also said something again, which is important, but they're hedging, and which is that it is imperative, and I'm kind of phrasing what they say now, that there is accountability for all violations of international law, with perpetrators brought to justice. Well, is only one perpetrator is right now is Israel, and the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and they have issued an arrest warrant for the former Minister of Defense. And so they are saying that those people, those two persons, should be brought before the International Criminal Court to be charged for war crimes and what it is that they're doing. Now, I believe that it would have been very important, very good for CARICOM to say, well, we support the International Criminal Court. We believe that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and he should be brought before the court and tried for the war crimes that are committed. Those kind of statements and comments were not made, and I think that is very, very necessary and important. Otherwise, it's just, it looks like to me a kind of response to the letter that we wrote to them demanding that they take an action. So the groups that wrote the letter in the first place are now drafting a response to the CARICOM response to the letter. And these are some of the kind of things that need to be talked about. Why is it that this discussion did not address the need to end diplomatic relations with Israel? This is very important, because it's not that it's going to solve all the problems, but it sends a very strong message to Israel and sends a strong message to the rest of the world that Israel must be isolated politically. Also, the letter that was written also called for ending economic relations with Israel as well. That, there are a lot of little deals that are going on. And so we're saying that those kind of deals must be ended. Some of the deals that have also are national security deals with Israel, where Israel is providing countries in the Caribbean and other countries with cyber security deals. And they also have one with Jamaica as well. They have a cyber security. The Prime Minister went to Israel in 2017, I think the date was, where he had a meeting with Israel, with Benjamin Netanyahu. When he came back to Jamaica, he was challenged by opposition parliamentarian at the time, Peter Bunting, to tell us about the cyber security that he had with national, security deal with Israel. And the Prime Minister said that I can't discuss it publicly, but if you want, you can come and meet with me and we can talk about it. Now, given what is going on in Gaza, we need for the Prime Minister and any other head of government in the CARICOM to make public what kind of cybersecurity agreement they have with Israel. Because if Israel is developing this for security, this is what is helping them to commit the genocides that they are doing in Gaza. I mean, they know who to kill, where to kill, what buildings. They say that this one was living in this building, etc., etc. And we don't know what this cybersecurity is. Are we being spied on? For example, is the Pegasus software, which Israel gave to some South American countries, and it was used in a very criminal kind of way to track down people and kill them and all that kind of stuff. We want to get details about this kind of cybersecurity. And the Jamaican government has not hidden the fact that it has a cybersecurity agreement with Israel. And so we are also calling for this to be made public.
I want to draw your attention to something. Yes, the call is for CARICOM to sever diplomatic and trade relations with Israel. But when I look around, I see something. China and Russia, two superpowers who have signaled support for Palestine, the people of Palestine. They have trade and diplomatic relations with Israel, you know. You know that?
I know that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but you see, this doesn't justify what the Caribbean is doing, because even if Russia
I'm not talking about justification. That's not the point I'm making.
Yes.
I'm making a point.
No, I understand that.
I am making the point that when I look at CARICOM, well, let me put it this way. For me, based on the geopolitical situation and what I see, I don't expect any action from CARICOM, you know. That is my personal view. And I want to tell you the reason why I don't. The reason why I don't is that the leaders, this thing requires leadership. The existing leaders in the CARICOM and the geopolitical situation that exists in the world right now. I don't see CARICOM taking any action that we are asking for right now. I don't see them doing that because they are not. The leaders are not of that thinking, and they are following current political and economic situation that exists in the world right now. They are tied to that. That is my take.
Yeah, I agree with you, Desmond. I agree with you. But it is up to us, the people, to make them know that we don't accept that kind of indifference to and compromise that they have adopted with what's going on in Israel, etc. They're compromised. They're politically compromised. And when you're compromised, you're complicit with the genocide. So we know that this is a kind of public relations press release that they did. It is not genuine. And so we have to hold them to task and let them know. Because one of my positions, which the groups are discussing, is that Jamaica is due to have elections soon. Guyana is due to have elections soon. And unless and until they do what we're asking them to do in diplomatic relations and trade relations, etc., in the cybersecurity agreement, we should call for a boycott of the governments and any political party that is complicit with the genocide. I think that this is a very important point that needs to be made.
You're also aware that that is not going to happen either. You're fully conscious of that.
Could you repeat that?
The voters in Guyana, and the voters in Jamaica, and the voters in the Caribbean, but let us deal with those two. They are not going to boycott voting over this issue. They are not.
Oh, fine. I mean, that they may not do, just like we call on CARICOM, and CARICOM doesn't do. But we have to take a position, and we have to explain. Otherwise, then we will be silent. Everybody else will be silent, and we could be described as being complicit with it. So we are saying to the people that they have the power to take action, and one action that can be taken is to send a very strong message to the governments and political parties in the Caribbean that something has to be done about this genocide. Hitler killed over 6 million Jews during the Second World War. What Israel is now doing is that they are completely destroying Gaza, and they want to move all the people in Gaza and put them in a concentration camp, which is what Hitler did to the Jews in the Second World War. And when you go to the concentration camps now, you don't have to be bombing buildings and whatever. You just kill them inside there. Right? And you carry out medical experiments like they did against children in these concentration camps and kill people. This is what Israel is now doing, and this is unacceptable. We cannot just sit back and don't do anything about it. We have to send a very strong message, because when history is written, we are going to be criticized for our complicity and our silence. So we have to, if we can't do anything, we write letters, and then we have the possibility of boycotting the elections and sending a very strong message to the governments of the region that we do not support this genocide. Because the CARICOM and the Michael Manley was opposed to to what was going on in South Africa years ago, and we can do the same thing now. We can take a position, and we must take a position right now.
And I'm in total agreement with you, and what I would suggest is that we have about 40 organizations and individuals around the Caribbean who are opposed to what is happening in Israel. And so I suggest that what we must do is to mobilize these organizations. They are scattered all across the Caribbean. We should organize to have these organizations lend their voices to the protests, and in whatever way they can. So if you are in Trinidad, we must make contact with the group there, in Puerto Rico, in Curaçao, all across the Caribbean, and let us be unified and in our protest action against what is happening in Israel, right, in Gaza right now. I'm in total agreement with that.
Yeah, man, I'm absolutely in agreement with you where that is concerned. And it has been done. As a result of this CARICOM meeting, it has brought a lot of organizations together. We are discussing, just like how you and I are discussing on the radio right now, we are in discussion, and we are trying to figure out what kind of strategy, political strategy, that must be used that will unite the people and expose the genocide that is taking place, that is similar, as I was saying before, to what Hitler did to Jews, right? Yes. And this is what Netanyahu is planning to do to the people in Gaza. That is totally, totally unacceptable. And if we don't do that, if some kind of dictator should emerge in the Caribbean, wouldn't we be expecting international support against a dictator that is using violence against the people, etc., etc.? So we, even though it's not happening in the Caribbean, it can happen in the Caribbean, and we have to set an example as to how to deal with something like this. And boycotting the elections and, ending diplomatic relations are some of the message that we need to send to our governments, even if it's difficult to get that message out to the people. At least the organizations will take a stand, and people will be and can be educated in terms of what is possible and why it is that you have to take that stance. Why is the government compromised? Are they tools of Israel or the United States that is supporting Israel 100%? You know what I mean? They're talking about a ceasefire at the moment. Netanyahu went to the United States. They still haven't worked out that ceasefire. But Netanyahu made it plain that he will maintain military might, and he wants to move the people out of Gaza. And as I said before, send them to a concentration camp. He has made it plain. And he has U.S. support for what it is that he wants to be done. Mm-hmm. Right now, the people are starving. They go and get little food, and as soon as them go to get the food, drones and ships and planes and all that kind of stuff start killing them. Hundreds are killed every day, and the people just want to have a little food to survive. This is totally unacceptable. It's inhumane. It's criminal. It's a crime against humanity, and we have to stand up against it. It's the wickedest thing that we've ever seen. As Mayor Motley said some time ago, this is a televised genocide that is taking place. Every night when we turn on our television and we look at the news, we are seeing hundreds and thousands of people suffering, children don't have no food, and so on. People just crying. And there's no war going on there. Hamas committed the crime that they did at the beginning. Yes, they did. But as CARICOM has said, this is a crime. The crime that is being committed by Israel is completely above what Hamas did in October 7. You know what I mean? It's disproportionate. That's the word they use. It's a disproportionate military response. And Hamas is not able right now to take on Israel at all. No, this is a genocide. This is an example of what a genocide is. Yeah. And we have to stand up against it.
Yes, Lloyd, I am in total agreement with you. And and I must reassure you that we are willing here at Rebel Radio to keep the struggle going, because this is something that we must stand up for. We cannot allow it to die. We have to end it there today because of time, but let us say to be continued.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, thank you for having me. And I think we need to continue to, advocate and to make the point and get public support to bring about change. And we need change. We cannot just sit back and allow this genocide to continue as it is going on.
No, sir. Thank you very much, Lloyd. Okay.
Desmond. Thanks for having me on. Good.
That was journalist Lloyd Aguilar there. We were talking about the situation in Gaza. This is a kill in the field. Every day, children, women, men are being slaughtered. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, Hardware and Supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, Hardware and Supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hard Hills.
And vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're rich in lights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we rise, together we climb. JPS Jamaica, together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Property for sale in Oak Bay, Portland, known as Hermitage Farm, located on the main road east of Oak Bay Police Station and west of Somerset Falls. Property size is 74 acres and includes a house with 5 bedrooms, 4,971 square feet, with water storage and a 3.5 acre coastal pond. Asking price US $2 million. For further information, kindly contact Kenneth Tomlinson, receiver, trustee, care of Business Recovery Services Limited, 11 Connolly Avenue, Kingston 4. Telephone number 876-948-001225. So that's 876-948-001225.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. We are going over to St. Thomas now because we saw a report there last week where the parish council, the municipality, right, is going to be taking up their new offices at the new urban center in Morant Bay. But the cost, $10.3 million per month. Now, I am wondering, if the municipality can afford that, because that's a whopping sum of money. I have with me here now the candidate for Western St. Thomas in the next election, but he's also the former mayor, Councillor Williams, with me. Good afternoon, Councillor.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes, sir. Now, you know something that I am asking myself when I saw this figure is $10 I would like you to, you have been a mayor and you know about I would like you to tell me something. Is it the case where is that the council, it is earning a lot of money per month, man? Is it so?
Well, by the amount that is asked of us, people might believe that we are making a lot of money, but I want to bring you that the county is struggling. We are going through some rough time, financial time, but we are tough people, so we are pushing through. But I want to tell you, $10.3 million is just too much. We can't afford it. We can't afford nowhere near to it.
Then how could the I don't understand. So tell me something. The current administration at the municipality, they are in agreement with this?
No, they are not, because last finance meeting,
yes,
every councillor made their voice be heard in terms of saying a letter must be sent back to our ministry stating that we can't afford it. Okay. Even if we want to do it, we just can't do it.
That is a significant sum of money, Councillor. $10.3 million per month. It's a whole lot of money.
But the question is, how do we get here? How we reach to this point where you're asked in a very small council? Because remember, St. Thomas is one of the smaller councils in the country. Maybe Portland and maybe one other, maybe smaller, where they have a 9-member council. We are a 10-member council, so we are a very small council. Only 2 constituencies, Eastern St. Thomas and Western St. Thomas, make up this council. So this is a very small council. St. Thomas is not one of the huge parts. St. Thomas don't have a huge economy. So who come to this decision? What lead them to the conclusion that we'll be able to pay this type of money? And I can give you the answer: greed. Let me tell you something, and I want to make it clear, these guys trick the people of St. Thomas. They scam the people of St. Thomas. They come up with a concept, with a one-stop shop idea. That's a concept. And, a lot of people believe that would be good. When you go to governmental business and you go, in terms of their services, you go to the tax office and you want to do something at the parish counter, you just slip over to the parish counter. Then if you have to do something over by the court's office, you can go there, and it's the same. It sounds good. It sounds good because that's the way modern day society is trending. But at the same time, it must be done in a practical way.
Yes.
So, we as councillors never ask for spot.
Hello? I've lost councillor. Really?
They talk about the space and all of that. We never have no say in that part of the deal.
Yes. Okay.
So come now, the first mistake, the first thing, I want to point out, finish collect from all of the government entity that's going to be at the urban center, They'll collect over $60 million per month.
Okay.
And I think that's how they get investors to build this place, because it's a form of insurance for the investment, saying your investment will be secure because there will be guaranteed income from all the government agency.
Okay.
So that's why they trick the people with one-stop shop.
Yes.
That's why they do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we never have a chance, because we didn't have a piece of land or ground pan, and we were saying we're going to build a building and that. Or we even get a loan, take out a mortgage for $120 million with the type of expertise that is at the parish council or the municipal corporation. Mm-hmm. We don't need people to draw plan for us. We don't need people to supervise works. Mm-hmm. We don't need no contract.
Yes. Because you have those expertise at the municipality. Right. We are losing
the corporation. Wait.
Yes. You are hearing me?
No, but because of these people want to scam us and want to have that guaranteed income from these government entities on a monthly basis, that's why they get us in the deal. That's the only reason why we're in this.
Yes. Well.
No. Why you want to give a small council 2,800 square feet out of space. Tell me why.
Well, I don't know. But
Hello?
The municipality don't need that amount of space. Wow, we have lost Councillor Williams there. Let me try and get him back. Huh? Yes, while I'm trying to get the mayor here, let me just try and show you a video of what is happening there. We have lost Councillor Williams. Councillor Williams.
Yes.
I tell you what, hang up and let me call you straight. WhatsApp is malfunctioning. Hang up and let me call you straight, right? Yes. Let me try and get him online. While we are doing that, I'm showing you a video now. 548.
Big news out of St. Thomas. The St. Thomas Municipal Corporation is preparing to move into the brand new Morant Bay Urban Center. But the price tag? A whopping 10.3 million Jamaican dollars in rent each month.
Per month? $129 million plus per year.
That's a huge jump from the 250,000 Jamaican dollars they're currently paying at their old location. What's even more shocking? The lease is set in US dollars with a 7% annual increase, meaning the monthly rent could go up every year, especially if the Jamaican dollar weakens. PNP Councillor Hubert Williams didn't hold back, calling it a scam during the recent council meeting. He questioned why the government would agree to such high costs when they could build their own facility on land they already own. The Urban Center, which cost over 6 billion Jamaican dollars, was launched in May and includes everything from government offices and court services to KFC and a gym. Tenants were even given 3 months rent-free, but critics say that doesn't justify spending over 123 million Jamaican dollars per year on rent. So tell me, do you think this is a smart move or a waste of public funds? Drop your thoughts below. News out of St. Thomas. The St. Thomas Municipal Corporation is preparing to move into the brand new Morant Bay Urban Center. But the price tag? A whopping 10.3 million Jamaican dollars in rent each month.
Per month? $129 million plus per year.
That's a huge jump from the 250,000 Jamaican dollars they're currently paying at their old location. What's even more shocking? The lease is set in US dollars with a 7% annual increase, meaning the monthly rent could go up every year, especially if the Jamaican dollar weakens. PNP Councillor Hubert Williams didn't hold back, calling it a scam during the recent council meeting. He questioned why the government would agree to such high costs when they could build their own facility on land they already own. The Urban Center, which cost over 6 billion Jamaican dollars, was launched in May and includes everything from government offices and court services to KFC and a gym. Tenants were even given 3 months rent-free, but critics say that doesn't justify spending over 123 million Jamaican dollars per year on rent. So tell me, do you think this is a smart move or a waste of public funds? Drop your thoughts below.
Yes. You are there now, right?
Here, I'm here.
Right. So as you were saying, that this cost is exorbitant, and the councillors, the point you made earlier, the space that is allocated, are you saying that the council don't need that amount of space?
Yeah, I'm saying 1/3 of that space, 10,000 square feet, can more than comfortable house council. 10,000 feet. We are using now about 3,500 square feet, just to roughly estimate it.
Okay.
And we are working. And we are working good.
Okay.
So if we get a space of about 10,000, come on, man, that's a lot of space. 10,000 square feet is a lot of space.
Yeah.
We can't put such burden on the people at St. Thomas, the taxpayer, the party promoter, the few people who trying to construct a little dwelling place, we can't ask them to pay more. We can't ask them to pay maybe 40 times more than what they pay now. And that's what we would have to ask them to pay.
Yes. Yes, too much. That is too much. I also understand that KFC has decided not to take up their offer either.
I can't confirm it, but I've heard the rumor in the street.
Okay.
But one thing I can tell you, I've spoken to a lot of business people in the market space who was interested in occupying spot there, renting spot at the urban center. And I can tell you a lot of them back out the deal. But as I hear the chairman, I think, Mr. Shirley, from Factories, thought this morning on TV that they're looking for deep pocket investors. You know, I really laugh because if they're really looking for deep pocket investors, I don't know if Center Mass is really the right place to come. With all respect to Center Mass, but I think we just don't reach here right yet.
Yes.
There's a lot of work have to put in place before we can really attract that type of investors. So what you want to do? Rest it on the taxpayers. In the meantime, I'm not willing to do so. I'm not willing to agree to that.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, it is. It is certainly too much money. Too much money.
It's just too much money.
Yes, it's too much.
And I know, Stan, and I tell you again, locally, we were not a part of the negotiating process. So I don't want to hear people believe that, at the end of them, I cry foul. We were not a part. It was a ministry decision. This thing was so big, bigger than all of us.
Okay. Yes.
And let me tell you this. If you go and do a survey in Markby right now and try to accumulate or come to a total figure to see what everybody who is renting space in Markby is paying, and all of that, all of it together, I would be surprised if it comes to $10.3 million. I really would.
Yeah.
So for this one little part of the urban center, we should pay such large sum of money for it. No. And I'm saying, if this is a private entity, why the Prime Minister going to come and have ribbon cutting for it? And boast about it.
Yes.
If it was not built by the government of Jamaica.
Yes. Yes, sir. And work is still continuing there, Councillor?
Yeah, work is going on. We have to remember, they pull down all this scaffold and take out all the equipment to facilitate the opening, After the opening, all the sign was pulled down back, and except that of the municipal corporation and the urban center, and the equipment went back in, and the scaffold went back in, and the work resumed.
Yes.
So the whole thing is a mockery. The sewage system is far from being completed.
Right. So the opening was more for an
political
election.
game.
Yes. It's for election gift.
Yes, exactly.
Well, from what you see there is that it is going to be difficult. If the rental is so high, it is going to be difficult to attract clients to take up those space.
Yes, and any client will take up those space. What will be their competitive or comparative advantage to those who are in Mountain Bay? Zero. They will be in the negative.
Yes.
They will not be able to sustain that business. Let me tell you something. People talk about development. One word for me have to come before development. Sustainable. Development has to be sustainable. And what they come with at this point in time is not sustainable.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's it for me. I just can't see it work it out. The council can't afford that type of money. Period.
Right.